Hi, everybody. Today we're back with Unseen Perspectives. I'm Kaylynn.
I'm Brie.
And this is our fourth episode. Today we are here with Tachu, who is going to give us some information on international perspectives. But first, he is going to interview the two of us for one of his courses here at Lynn. So go ahead, Tachu, whenever you're ready.
Okay, so my first question to both of you is that when someone asks you, "Are you blind?" then how do you do you feel uncomfortable or uneasy by being asked this question?
I think Kayla and we have two different
Yeah.
opinions, sort of. Not opinions, perspectives. Because, I feel like it depends how they ask. I feel like it's more about, how much can you see is more of, an emotional question. Because if they're just straight up saying, are you blind? Yeah. And then, not obviously, but yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Kaylin is yeah, she's full go. Yeah, let me tell you everything. Here's my doctor's. Here's my doctor's report on everything I could see. That's so true.
Yeah. No, I'm very open about it. I like when people ask rather than assume.
Yeah.
Because as somebody who does have some amount of vision to work with, it can be really confusing for people, and then people start to think like, okay, maybe you're faking it or they don't understand it. So for me, it's a lot better if they ask, because then I can kind of give them an understanding, and I can help bridge that gap in what they know is blindness, because most people don't know that about 80% of the blind community does have some remaining vision. So
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting because some people are either you say you're blind and they think you can see a lot more than you can, or they just automatically assume nope.
yeah.
I feel like I say I'm blind, and then still some people are like, "What? You can't see that? You can't see that?" I'm like, "No, I cannot."
Yeah.
That I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different for everyone. And so I think
Yeah.
it matters what you said, like the how you approach it, I think
Right.
matters the most. And, are you approaching it respectfully? What's the intention? I think that can make a big difference. And then maybe just asking somebody, hey, are you comfortable talking about this, is a good segue into that. Just to make sure you're doing it respectfully. And it can be a very emotional experience. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just be respectful.
So when a stranger comes up to you, like all of a sudden, and asks you about your disability or your eyesight condition, then how do you react to it?
Um, I think it goes back to the being respectful. If they're not honestly coming up and being like, "Hey, like is it okay? What can I add? Whatever." You know what I mean? People can come up out of curiosity, or people could just come up and be annoying and be obnoxious and be like, "Oh, are you?" I don't know, right, Kaylin? I feel
Yeah.
like it goes back to the respectful thing.
I understand. I understand. Do you feel agitated or irritated when someone does not understand what you have gone through because of your disability?
Yeah, but I feel like also how would people know unless if it's over text, if it's just some random person be like, "Oh, I've seen you on campus. What happened to you?" I'd rather tell you that in person, and it's very personal. You know what I mean? There's certain times where it's just not the right time, maybe, but it's also goes back to the intentions as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we can't really we can't expect people to understand our
yeah,
experiences. So yes, it's agitating, but at the same time, like Bree said, they've never been through it, and so we have no way of expecting them to know. Like she said, it goes back to that respect thing of, are you willing to ask somebody about their experience? Are you willing to learn and implement things, to accommodate that person better? Or do you just not care about their experience? And I feel like that's what's more agitating, is when somebody just outright doesn't care, isn't willing to accommodate,
yeah.
doesn't want to learn anything.
It's just because I've had people text me and be like, "What happened to you?" And I'm just like, I never. First of all, I've never met you in person. Second of all, it's just very personal. I'm not comfortable explaining. Usually, a lot of people don't really ask because I think they don't feel comfortable asking. Um, so yeah.
But do you think people are shy to ask what's your issue? I mean, why I am into this connection? Do you think people are shy or they are hesitant to ask you about this?
100%. I think a lot of people are shy to ask. Some people are curious, so they do ask, but there's a lot of times you could do it in a very respectful way. It also honestly depends for me, like the personal level, the relationship I have with that person. If it's just someone over text and they're just like,
I understand. And one last question. I've seen and heard people saying blind or visually impaired. So, what do you think is the right term to call a person who has this particular disability? Because I have noticed many people feel uncomfortable where they are called something which is not the correct terminology.
Yeah, so that really depends
yeah,
on the person, actually. So it's very different for everyone. Like you said, there are many terms, and everybody prefers something different, is pretty much what I found.
yeah,
So it helps to ask that person how they would like to be classified. Because, like, for instance, I don't like visually impaired, I like blind. I also don't like being classified as legally blind because I feel like it makes it like feel like less than.
yeah,
So
minimizes.
yeah, I
Yeah,
I like just blind, but then there's other people that prefer visually impaired, and so it's
yeah.
really up to the individual.
Yeah, I when I first lost my vision, I was like very sensitive to the word blind. I was like, even like family members, we would go places and they'll be like, "Oh, my niece is blind." I'll be like, "Oh, can you say visually impaired?" Like it just makes me feel like semi a little bit better. But now it's more of like just say blind. Like I feel like it gives more of like not a meaning, but more of a like direct like being like, okay, yeah, I can't see like this is a type of I don't. I it just was very sensitive in the beginning, but I think it really does depend on the person.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Here were my questions.
Okay. Yay.
Yay! Thank you.
So now we're gonna ask Tachu a couple questions. Tachu's from India, so he's had different cultural experiences. When did you come to the United States? How old were you?
So I officially shifted to US in the fall of 2016 for my high school in New York, and I was 18. I went to a special needs boarding school known as Maplebrook School, which is based in place called Armenia in northern New York. So that school, how I say, was a more than a foundation for me to be uh, to be more individual. At that point of time, yes, it was hard for me initially because I was staying there by myself for the first time. Because prior to that, I was staying in a very secure environment with my family being around, with special educators being extremely helpful. So for me, it was on a transition from a comfort zone that I was there for the normal time, and that school helped me a lot to be what I am in front of you guys today.
What's a different perspective being blind in the United States versus India?
See, the deal is that normally in India, we still lack the amount of sensitivity and kindness towards them because nobody has the perfect knowledge and information towards people with special needs. They are just special needs. They don't belong to this mainstream society where they can hang out with us. They were just stay in a very isolated space where there will be only set of people who will be there to help him. So unfortunately, in India, we have very narrow-minded thinking where we don't give enough respect and support for people who have, especially not for the blind, but for people who have ADHD, ADD, dyslexia, dysgraphia, and other physical and mental disabilities.
Yeah, I feel like yeah. It's crazy how like the different perspectives on disability like in various cultures. It's very interesting. Um, okay. How is it like growing up with family and all that?
When they first got to know that I have a syndrome known as Barrett-Biedl syndrome, through which I have retinitis pigmentosa, aortic stenosis, which is the heart condition, and other thing because through till the age of 2, I was not able to speak or talk that well. So
Yeah.
let's say now around 27 years, 26, 27 years ago, people were not able to understand what I was going through. And I used to cry a lot. But,
Oh,
and people, they said to my parents that, look, why don't you guys go to Delhi? There are certain schools which support the special needs student, and I went to the school known as the Shirapur Aravali, where they had just started EIDED, which is early intervention system, where you have a group of special educators who help um, kids who have certain disabilities or learning challenges, and they have the students in the early phases of their life. So I was quite lucky and blessed to have that particular help and guidance, and through which life went on, and I was able to manage academically through the help of special educators. Yes, I had few bunch of friends who sort of understood and accepted me, but I have other section of friends who were not so kind, who excluded me for their in their parties. Literally, nobody used to come for my birthday party, which I used to be extremely shattered this and discouraged. But my parents encouraged me that you no need to be shattered and discouraged about it. You will. There will be many people who would be cruel and or harsh to you. So just be positive, and you will get great. I mean, many people who will be extremely kind and acceptable and understanding to you.
yeah.
That's a wonderful story, Tachu.
Yeah. What were like some of? Because I'm curious. What are some of like the rights in India for disability versus here? Like we know, like the U.S. we have the truncated domes, which is like the yellow little bump dots near the street. We have just certain accommodating needed disability stuff here in the U.S. What did they have in India? Did they have anything?
To be honest, nothing. I will say if I'm dating back to less than 15 years ago to the we have a particular law known as the RDI Act in India, which is reference to right to education, which where every student has the right to receive the enough education. But sadly, less than 15 years ago, there was nothing for disability, but thankfully I am associated with the organization known as the Saurabhya Collective, where we are working a lot where with putting accommodation or support system for the special needs student through the inclusive dunya camping. I mean, in translation, known as the inclusive world campus, where we are working on the allyship project where we can include the neurodivergent students with the neurotypical people, where there are people who are kind and sensitive enough to hang out with these people and just to include in their groups.
Yeah, yeah, and like, what about like school wise, like,
School
cause
wise,
like growing up, like elementary, or do they even classify it like that? Anyway,
I mean,
um,
there was nothing. I mean,
there
if
was nothing. So how did you get by with school and stuff? You just
nothing, nothing. It's
just had to get by.
just get by, and I was lucky enough to have a great, great bunch of special educators during my junior, middle school, and senior school who were kind enough to help me with my own learning academic challenges. Because in a country like India, the academic structure is extremely competitive and hard, where it is tough for a special needs or a disabled individual to deal with. So therefore, I had a great bunch of special educators who helped me, and they were also pioneers in during my 10th ICSE board exams in February March 2016.
Yeah, I know Kaylin and I, we've talked about, because growing up, I wasn't blind, so I didn't have like the accommodation because I wasn't blind. But Kaylin and I, we've talked about, Kaylin, you've had like mixed experiences with accommodations in school and, right, and just different, I
Yeah.
think that it's hard for like, it's hard. It's frustrating when you're growing up, you're trying to learn, you're trying to, but like some people, like, or some teachers, some schools, they're not willing to, fit the needs that you need. I think one, some of them don't know how to, maybe. Two, I don't know. This is Kaylin. What's sort of your perspective on it?
See, Kaylin and Brie, the problem in a country like India is that prior to this decade, or let's say around 5 to 10 years ago, let's say in the 70s and the 80s, nobody know what disability is, what being a special needs student is. So therefore, few of my batchmates were extremely road through which I went excessive amount of bullying at my school in India, and technically, apart from my special educators, not any teacher took any action of that. No,
Was there anyone like in like other sort of disabilities?
yes,
I'm just curious, like,
yes,
if
yes.
you
I mean, I mean, there were in my time, there were certain students who were diagnosed with like ADHD, ADD,
yeah,
dyslexia, dysgraphia, and others.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Members with ADHD, you have anxiety issues coming on in the same boat.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the only accommodation I have is ADHD growing up. So this whole visual stuff was very new coming into college. I was like, I have no idea. And I remember Kaylin and we've talked about it, and Kaylin's like, yeah, I just transferred all my stuff from high school. Like, oh, okay. And I'm like, that was part of the problem. I didn't know what I need. And I think here, when I was here, I think it was last semester when I took algebra, people at the ADA were like, we don't know what to, like, they were sort of stuck too. They were like, we want to help you, we just don't really know, what the proper needed things you need. Like, it just, there's different perspectives.
And I mean, my eyesight has started to deteriorate during my last few years at Beacon in Leafer. My parents evidently noted that, oh, Tachu is having some sort of deterioration in his eyesight. He cannot see anything below, but due to my tunnel vision, I can't even see sideways. I can only see straight.
Yeah.
Same here.
How are like the doctors in India, like with your eyesight? Because the U.S. has a couple different really good hospitals. They have a couple,
Technically one.
Oh.
Yes, but he had
Okay.
preference to the Duke Hospital in Durham in North Carolina.
Okay.
So, I mean,
So like so no one in India, like doctor wise, they were not, like eye doctors that were like understood your disability, like, you know what I mean? I mean, I
they
guess.
did. I mean, they understood, but the problem was that there was not so any technology that could
Yeah.
cure patient who have retinitis pigmentosa. So we have certain Facebook groups for patients who have retinitis pigmentosa. So they were the ones who recommended us John Hopkins Hospital in
Oh yeah.
Baltimore, or Buster Palmer in Miami, or the Duke Hospital in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So in the recent years, the Facebook group for RP has helped a lot. I mean, my dad takes a lot of research from that.
Yeah. That's great. You have like a family that's like, willing to want to help. Like, I remember when I became blind, my parents were looking up hospitals. They were trying to like, they were doing like, everything they were going like the maximum effort. So that's great. You had that support. So it's very important. Yeah. Kaylynn, do you have any questions? You think I left
Yeah,
out?
I love the inclusive world
Yeah.
advocacy project that you're doing, and I'd love to hear more about that. What you guys are doing right
Oh
now,
yeah,
and
for
what you'd
sure.
like to do in the future.
See, Kaylin and Brie, since both of you are on Instagram, they have the Saurabhya Collective Instagram page, through which we are connected with them through our Disability Advocacy Club page.
Okay, awesome. Can you plug a little? I'm trying to be like Jake Paul, like with the plug. Anyway, what's the Instagram username of that? Because
It
maybe
is the Saurabhya Collective.
spell it. Spell it.
It is the THE
Okay.
Saurabhya
Okay.
SARVODYA
Uh huh. Okay.
Collective
Okay.
COLLECTIVE.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Cool. I think that's a great
Wonderful.
page to go look at,
Yes.
and
You can
I think that's
follow
awesome.
them and take a lot of what they do, because they work a lot on that particular aspect.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
Yes, that is amazing.
It's very like important to.
Their founder had commented on our first post of our Disability Advocacy Club page.
Really? Oh my gosh, I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So awesome. Yeah. And if you guys want to follow Disability Advocacy Club, you can. Another plug.
Guys, I forgot to share one thing that when I first started my school in India, I have few other issues, like my speech was not that clear, and I also had behavioral issues. I mean, I used to be a completely messed up kid when I joined the school in India. I used to lay in the ground for
Oh.
long hours until the teachers literally forced me to stand up and sit on the bed, which used to take a while to settle down. And adding more to injury, my speech was not that clear back then as it is clear right now.
You used to lay on the ground?
I used to, but I was
That's fun.
That's a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a very nice grounding technique, honestly.
literally.
Yeah.
back in 21 years ago. Nobody used to understand what I was trying to
Yeah.
record. My speech was so bad that it used to take a while for anyone to understand what I was trying to convey.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing how like far you've been able to come,
Yeah.
and we're so glad that you could come here and share the story. That's an amazing transformation, and we love to hear it.
Yes, I am still in the process of writing my autobiography, which might take a while to finish it.
I will
Yeah.
definitely read that.
Yeah.
We'll
I think
see.
it'd be a very good book. Very interesting.
Sadly, might be published after me and Kaylin graduate in next May.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Take as long as you need to make a good book.
Even though I might be back for my master's,
Oh.
then I would be doing my master's in communication, since I want to work more on my writing skills in order to be a sports writer someday.
Oh.
That's
That's
amazing.
so cool. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I like to see how much you've done, and from India to here, and like the different perspectives, different rights, different views, different, everything. So I think it's important to share like various cultures and being blind, being disabled in different countries, just how we can
Like
get as
Brie,
much awareness, attention, all that. It's
like Brie, I was just saying this to Kaylin the other day that when I shifted to my school in Neo, I saw a major 360 degree change in that school where I had many of my classmates who were extremely kind and gracious to me despite of the fact that I was a foreigner to them.
Yeah, you've offered such amazing insight today. If there was like one piece of general advice that you would give to somebody who's maybe in a place with less resources or trying to transfer to somewhere with more resources, is there anything that you would like to maybe say to that person or offer as general advice?
It might be slightly tough on how to say, but I would try to say that just be positive, be strong, uh, and if you are positive and strong enough to fight for the long distance, then anything can happen.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that
That's
perspective.
great. Yay.
Well,
Well,
thank you so
thank
much,
you,
Tachu,
Tachu.
for
you.
coming in and interviewing us and letting us interview you. It was
It's a fun little party in here.
Thank you, Kaylin and Brie. Even though I still feel guilty of misspelling your name with I mean, it's the confusion I found with the last three letters of your name.
With Kaylin's name?
Your name, both.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
it's
Okay.
okay. Autocorrect
You're
is
good,
a
yeah.
challenge, but
It's a challenge. It's more than a challenge with my phone.
yeah, the new Apple update is
My phone is
not
like
very
not
accessible.
even close to what I'm saying.
No, it's not helpful for somebody who like can't see their keyboard and is trying to. Like,
I'm like
rely.
dictating it,
Yeah.
and I have to like. One of my friends, I was like, he's like, "Why do you keep texting me on your iPad?" I'm like, "It's just easier. I can't do it on my phone."
Yeah.
You know what, but say what I spelled it. Yours is BRYSON, not CEN.
Oh yeah, autocorrects it to SON. It's highly annoying. I remember one time when I was a couple of years ago and I was blind. I was dictating it and I sent an email to someone, and my dad was like looking at it. He's like, "You spelled your name wrong," and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
whoops."
Not in the okay. It's always a pleasure speaking and working with you guys, and we'll discuss later on what needs to be done with the club sometime later.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
of
Yeah. If you're on
course.
Lynn campus, we're trying to do things left and right with Disability Advocacy Club. Things may have been a little slow, but we're getting back into it, and
Yeah.
we
Give
really
us
hope
a
to have
follow.
we really hope to have a productive spring semester, and we'd love to see some of you at our events.
Yeah,
It'd
and
be
if
great.
you guys have any, maybe not advice, but like questions or anything or anything you wanna, oh my god,
Yeah.
what's the word I can't think of?
I think advice was a good word, or anything you'd want to see.
Yeah,
like, let
anything
us
you want
know.
to see, like any necessary or whatever. Oh my god, I can't think of the
that
word.
would be great.
But anything you would like to see, you can always DM us and we'll give you a quick response, and we would love your guys' feedback. So that'd be great.
See Kaylin and Bryson in a club like Disability Advocacy Club. There's a need of people who need to advocate for these people because I've seen certain videos on Facebook where the special needs students have been mistreated in the public school, public college sectors here in the So therefore, I still need that if we have that same particular aspect and mindset in our views about the club, about the aspect of disability, then we can go ahead and make a difference for these guys in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely look into that. We're looking into some initiatives with different organizations to educate about disability, but
Right.
we can definitely look into an education one. Maybe we could go present at like a middle school or a high school or something like that. That would be really fun.
That would
Definitely
be great. I think it would be super, super beneficial.
Yeah, people let
too.
us know on our like blueprint if you're interested in a service project like that.
Yeah.
And I'll look into setting that up. Actually, that sounds really cool.
Yeah. All right. We got
Okay,
some
thank
cool
you,
little
guys.
events.
All
Thank
right,
you,
I think
Tachu.
Tachu has to get to class now. But thank you all
Thank you,
for
Tachu.
watching.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you once again, Tachu, for
Thank you very
being
much,
here.
Kaylynn and Brie. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys.
Yeah. Thank you. All right.
Have a nice
Bye.
day.
Thank you.
Bye.